GDQ submission video now. This is the Bugs Bunny birthday blowout. NES platformer. I don't really know what to say in these. This is my first GDQ submission video ever. This is my run back from a world record attempt. So, yeah, let's get started. Yeah. That. Okay. Timer starts 3.3 seconds after you initiate the first level starting, because that's when you gain control. The first level, there's a couple of tough jumps in the first level, one of which kills you regularly, but getting this high jump here makes it free. It's a second or two time loss, but we do it. If I were to do it in a marathon, I'd probably just get that to make the jump free, because you know how marathons go. It's not the fastest paced game out there, but it's very precise. There are a lot of precise jumps that come down to within a frame or two. Typically, there is another one-frame jump in the Daffy Duck room there, but with the high jump, you just kind of jump through the carrots and avoid as many as you could. The carrots are... It's a love-hate relationship with the carrots in this game, because, well, sometimes, well, they give you bonus games. Every 10 you get gives you a bonus game. However, when you collect it, it makes a platform for you. So sometimes you need the carrots, sometimes you can't avoid the carrots, and sometimes the carrots are just a huge pain in the butt. Boss fights in this game are pretty basic, nothing too difficult. You lure... Tweety is invulnerable when she's behind that bush. You just lure her out and knock her away from it. Her knockback keeps her out of the bush, and you just land 3 consecutive hits on it. This is another 1-frame jump. I mean, or no, that's a 2-frame jump. I really shouldn't... It sounds like false advertising when I say 1-frame jump, though, because the frame rate of this game is so low. Just look at it. You can tell how low it is. And it's not like, say, Super Mario World. But yeah, so basically, throughout the run, I try and get as few carrots as possible while still maintaining a good speed. There are a lot of carrots that are very hard to avoid, but are possible to avoid. Or carrots that offer certain other encumbrances. I avoided this carrot here with a 1-frame jump. There's a second carrot you normally get there, but... This game is so optimized that you need to ride enemies whenever possible. Like, and you can stand on top of most enemies, and if they're walking along with you, they'll push you forward. Because you get your speed plus theirs, obviously. Most of that time loss, well, some of that time loss was from the grabbing the jump, but some of it was not. This game is just so very optimized that I just lose time, even though I play alright. I can't play alright, get a good time in this. I have to play very well to get a good time in this. There are these little springboards here. I actually used one in another level. You can... Quicksand's awful. The springboards you can use as catapults. The other use for them, though, is sometimes you don't need to use them as catapults. Like in 1-2, I used one as just a little boost up. I'll use another one here. It gives you half a platform of height if you stand in the middle of it. So, I use that just to be able to jump to the next block. This is why the carrots are bad. That wasted like 3 to 5 seconds there just getting the one up. It's just... The world record I had just gotten had 0 one-ups in 6 bonus games. It's possible to grind it down to 5 bonus games so there's less RNG, but it's very difficult. Honestly, I'm not sure if I've ever done it. Oh yeah, who doesn't love these earthquakes? I often will use damage boosting through one thing to avoid damage from another. That was an okay example of it. The spike strip that I walked into dealt a full heart of damage, but I picked up a heart right after, so... The invulnerability frames you have in this are also kind of a double-edged sword. If you get hit, say during a boss fight or something, while you have the stars over your head and you're invulnerable, you can't swing your hammer, so you have 0 offense. You have no way to kill anything while you're invulnerable. So basically, they're invulnerable too. It's... I don't know. It's pretty irritating at times, to be honest. Oh, that's a 1-frame jump that I just missed, but I used the middle of the springboard to boost myself up enough. Those tornadoes shoot you upward. And a lot of this game, you have a pretty generous amount of health in this game. You have 3 hearts. Most things deal 1/4 of a heart. The heart scales from red to black to... Or no, red to white to black to clear, and then it disappears. So you have 12 HP, basically. Most things deal 1 damage, some things deal 4. Honestly, I'm not sure if lag reduction is a thing in this game, but it's something I've always done as a precaution. It's not really... Maybe it makes or breaks a run and I just don't know it because I've always done it. But basically what I do is, as long as there's an enemy on the screen, I try and kill it. I could have avoided that carrot, but it's tough, and you're at the mercy of the quicksand. This is a tough boss fight here. It's Yosemite Sam. His bullets deal a full heart of damage, but he doesn't get to shoot many of them if you do it well. Pretty much all of that time loss is from the bonus game. I got a 1-up in the bonus game, and it gave me a life, and it takes time to tally off the lives. There are, unfortunately, other options in the bonus game. You'll see in the bonus game that there's like there's lines behind the grid. Basically, if you get 3 in a row behind in the coordinates of one of the lines, basically just all horizontal and all horizontal and diagonals, and then the main did I say diagonals again? Okay, all horizontals and verticals. Said it right that time. As well as the 2 main diagonals. If you get 3 in a row along any of those lines, you'll get 1-up. If you get 4 in a row along one of those lines, you'll get a 5-up. That wastes about 10 seconds. If you just so happen to get 5 in a row, you get a 50-up. Which this is my 726th attempt. It's happened to me once. I believe it wasted about a minute. Oh my god. This is not how this level goes. Basically, I'm supposed to avoid all these carrots and not take too much damage, but I don't expect to be perfect. Trying to avoid as many carrots as possible, while not slowing down too much. Some of these bricks here, they just break. It's the same ones every time. You know I know which ones do it, and I'm prepared for them. And pretty much everywhere in this run, I have a backup plan. There's a much faster way through that. Yay, one else. There's a much faster way through that top part here, but I took it slow just because I didn't want to take any extra damage, because if I took any extra damage there, Elmer Fudd would have killed me in one hit, and I don't want that. So basically, I just used a slightly slower backup plan and made it completely safe. These mountain levels, it looks like they have a lot going on in them. They often do, but they're not too bad. They're alright. I'm gonna use the catapult, launch myself across there. Here's another instance where I'll use damage boosting. Oh, or no I won't. My iframes just lasted a tiny bit too short. So that frog is supposed to hit me. The frog deals 1/4 of a heart of damage. Whereas that lava deals a full heart. And I didn't want to risk taking a full heart of damage there, or else I'd have been at 1 HP away from death. We're 5 up. Unbelievable. Supposed to use the middle of that springboard, though. It only works if you're in the middle of the springboard. It doesn't give you any extra height unless you're in the middle. It's pretty precise. Like I said, this is not a fast-paced game where you're just trying to hang on and go as fast as you can. But you're just trying to go as fast as you can while being very precise. One frame jump during an earthquake. Awesome. Next boss is Sylvester. You actually fight Sylvester Jr. first. This is the only 2-phase boss. But he's pretty easy. Not too much of that was execution. Some of it was. That was not perfect. But extra lives can hinder this run quite a bit, but not so much that it's not marathon safe. Examples of bad damage boosting. I was supposed to get hit by the clock there, but I, for some reason, took a hit from the waterfall. I just wasn't thinking. That's a very precise jump. However, I have a very good visual cue of it. I don't think I've missed it in a run since returning to this game. Since finding that visual cue. I think another runner that you can see him in my chat, he uses the same cue. He counts the icicles as they crash down, and as the 4th one reaches your face, you go. 1 frame jump to get that carrot. That's how good RNG looks. It's literally RNG. There's a number generator on the screen. They don't hide it in this game by enemy patterns and all that crap. It's very straightforward. All the enemy patterns are perfectly consistent. They all do the same thing every time. Doesn't make them easy to deal with all the time, but they do the same thing every time. There are some enemies that are very irritating. This is the third and final Tweety Bird fight. It's also the hardest one, but there's a pretty good setup to make it very easy. Some people think you grab the carrot higher up on the screen just because you get off the screen earlier, but the full jingle plays out anyway. I killed that oil can to avoid the screen going dark. Those oil cans make the screen going dark. But anyway, I digress. The reason I grabbed the carrot up at the top is simply just because I grabbed it earlier. It's not anything like you get off the screen faster, because it takes the same amount of time whether you grab it at the top or the bottom. So this level is probably the easiest level in the game. It's very straightforward. You can damage boost off of anything and everything you see, as long as you do it right. Like, I walk into the oil can to avoid the damage of the waterfall. I croquet that clock backwards to try and avoid it from exploding. Oil canister, same thing. You're invulnerable when you're behind those rocks, but you also can't swing your hammer, just like when you're invincible from getting hit. Okay. This is one of the harder levels. There is a set amount of damage boosting you have to do. Like, you have to hit that oil can, or else you're gonna get hit by that waterfall and you're just not gonna have enough health. Ghosts, that's okay. Most of the hard damage boosting is done. There's one more spot where it's important. But there's a much more difficult part coming up first, which is right here. I also have a visual cue for this, though, too. Looks scary. It's not. That's the last damage boost. I'm either supposed to kill that fireball, grab the heart, get hit by the fireball. Typically, I don't even need to grab the heart if I do. And here's quick with the kill. Ah! I messed up the quick kill. I was supposed to hit that third hammer shot, but no big deal. So I had 10 carrots there, but it didn't give me the bonus game. After the main bosses for each world, there's a different bonus game. It's a whack-a-mole bonus game, and you do not want to play the whack-a-mole bonus game. It's a timed game, so it takes the same amount of time every time, and it's very long. It's like 30 seconds. Those vines that I was swinging from earlier, I recently found a strat which helped improve this world record by about 20 seconds. One of the strats was how to get across those vines a little faster. The Chaos Legion in chat, he recently improved the record to 26:35, and I've just taken it back to 26:33. Oh god, 26:23. And I wasn't paying attention there. This music means I have a high jump, and I need the high jump to get up to that carrot quickly. Saves like 5 to 10 seconds. I think this is the first time I've ever seen 3 1-ups in one bonus game. I can't recall any other time I've ever seen that. There are a couple different ways through this level. This way that I'm doing now is slightly faster. It's a little bit trickier though. And I messed it up. But you fall right back on. You fall right back to the normal route, which is right here. This is the only spider enemy in the game. I don't know why he put him in there. He deals 1 heart damage, or 1/4 heart of damage. That was such a bad level for me, but you know, didn't lose that much time. That's so much faster than getting 3 1-ups. There's another harder vine cycle skip in this level. It's actually quite difficult. I am gonna go for it. It's really early in the level. If you die in any level, got it. You have to jump off that frog at basically the peak of his jump, and you can make it in such a manner that you can skip the first vine. But if you die in any level, you just start at the beginning of the level. So there are risky strats at the start of the level. It's not that big of a deal. There's a risky strat at the end of this level, like at the end of this map here, that saves you 1 carrot that I will not be doing because I don't want to go back to the start of this level. It's not, you don't go back to the start of the map, you go back to the start of the entire levels. So I'd have to do all of 6-3 over again. This is the Tower of Eden inputs, because the jump button just doesn't work on it often. Oh, good. Okay, this is Foghorn Leghorn. All you gotta do, hit the chicken hawk 3 times, and he dies. Foghorn Leghorn is nothing but a platform. The only thing is, it's a 1-frame jump to get across without falling. But yeah, Foghorn Leghorn is nothing but a platform there. He does damage to you, obviously, but you don't actually need to fight him. You need to fight the chicken hawk. This level has a couple of good examples of riding enemies. I'm gonna ride this boulder right here. It pushes you forward a tiny little bit. Every little bit helps in a run like this. Especially when your speed's locked at such a low speed. But the more fun one is you ride this hammer mailbox thing, and then you ride that one too. It's pretty cool. Off Daffy Duck. Grab the carrot. Okay. 3 more levels left. Nothing too difficult in them. That's a very important damage boost off that trash can, because it lines your invincibility frames up perfectly to get hit by one of the falling spikes. While I'm walking across that spike pit, the spike pit at the bottom, that deals a full heart of damage, whereas the falling spikes only deal a 1/4 heart. I took a hit off the fireball there to avoid damage off of those spikes as well. The conveyor belt I just skipped pushes you backwards, and there's a bunch of carrots you can use to make it faster, but I'd rather just go under it. Oh, I got hit. And I got hit again. That's how the bosses can kind of go sideways, because they'll tend to corner you a bit, or follow you very vigorously, and you just... Oh my goodness. What is this? This is awful. I have not had a run with this bad RNG, like not even close. The run I just had before this had perfect RNG. I had 6 bonus games and got 0 lives. There are holes in the floor here, in some of the rooms. There's a very slight change in the artwork in the floor to dignify them, or to signal them. Signal you of them. Words. There was one at the first room there that brings you all the way down to the bottom, and then there's a couple in these little repeat rooms. These rooms all look the same, but there are small differences. Some of which are holes, and some of which are springs and spikes. I'm gonna boost through these, the 2, Okay, now I'm on my last bit of health. That was close. Okay, that's not hard. Okay, onto the last level. There are no carrots in this level, I don't think. So, I'm just gonna run right through. The springboards won't push you very high if you jump at the same time you hit them. You also kind of want to hit them as low as possible. On rooms like that where they're on the side and you need to boost upwards. Oh god. You use that clock to get high enough for the platform. It's easy. It's difficult, but you could go faster than that. Okay, last room before the final boss. This is Tasmanian Devil. He throws footballs at you. You knock the footballs back at him with your hammer. It takes 6 hits to kill him. Time. 27-13. That's 3rd place right now? Or not, 4th. That'd be 4th place, including my own time. But yeah, that's all it is. That's Bugs Bunny birthday blowout. He's greeted with cheers and applause by the people trying to kill him. Sorry, playing some very funny tricks. But yeah, this is Bugs Bunny birthday blowout. I hope you consider it for a GDQ 2018. Thank you.